You will make $5,000 to $10,000 next month, even if you have no money in your wallet, simply by learning and implementing this crazy simple business model. A business model that anybody can do, regardless of skill, savvy, or your current financial situation. So if you're struggling financially or itching to finally quit that blood-sucking career and replace it with freedom to work where and when you want to work, then this video is for you. Not too long ago, I was stuck and frustrated as well. I tried building online businesses. I tried selling real estate. Heck, I even one time spent a winter harvesting red twig dogwoods. Everything fell short of my expectations. I never had excess money or freedom. My stomach felt like one big knot of financial stress, if that's the way to describe it. Then I discovered something that changed the course of my life. And not only did it put $5,000 extra in my bank account, but more importantly, it finally cut loose that anxious knot that was stuck in my stomach for years and tortured me for years. And I call it the 9x12 method. And in my first month with the 9x12 postcard method, I made $5,000 and was absolutely blown away. Now keep in mind, I started doing this thing as a side hustle alongside my underwhelming real estate career. I only worked on this maybe 2 hours a day, and then I did crap like this.
Oh! Oh shit!
I was lazy, but I was blown away to see that just this part-time work resulted in basically a full-time income. So the next month, I stepped it up a notch. I put real estate to the side and sold out 2 cards and doubled my profit to $10,000 that month. And now this isn't to brag or anything at all. In fact, I literally hate talking about my income, honestly, but it's just to show you that I was exactly where you might be right now, struggling, feeling a little hopeless. But this business just clicked for me so quickly. I genuinely believe it can click for you too, because it's straightforward. It doesn't require upfront money. You can do it in your local community, and it just honestly makes sense. Now, I know you're itching to know how the 9x12 method works exactly, so I'm sorry for making you wait for that. So here's how it works. Successful small businesses everywhere spend thousands of dollars a month on direct mail advertising. For example, roofers sending out postcards, realtors sending out marketing reports, and so on. So we, as 9x12ers, leverage that demand. We actually take a massive 9x12 inch postcard, larger than anything else people receive in their mailbox, and we split it up into ad slots. So we reach out to local businesses offering to feature them on this community mailer that we are mailing to 5,000 doors in their town. Local businesses pay to be featured on this postcard, which is framed as a community spotlight card, so it's not junk mail. You're essentially helping them split the cost of marketing, so they no longer have to spend thousands. Plus, instead of coming across as junk mail, like I said, that goes into the trash, now their ad comes on a community-focused postcard instead. Each business pays individually, keeping costs low for them and creating significant profit for you guys, which is most important. Typically there are 16 slots on the card, and I personally sell out each slot for $500. So this means by the time you've sold out the card fully, you'll have $8,000 cash in your pocket because the businesses pay you in advance. Now your job is to collect their ad designs and put them on the card and have the card printed. There's plenty of printing companies that can handle this for you. If you hire my team, we take it one step further. You don't handle the inventory, printing, or shipping. My team and I take care of all of that. All you do is connect local businesses, put their ad designs on the card, send us the design, and we'll handle the printing, shipping, and distribution. After the printing and shipping costs, you can typically earn around $4,000 to $5,000 in profit from each postcard you fill. Simple as that. Then once you have the confidence, you can pretty easily scale to multiple cards per month, like I did, to start making $8,000, $12,000, $16,000 per month in profit. So soon I'm gonna give you this exact step-by-step framework for how you can replicate what I've done to sell out cards and pull myself out of brokeism fast. But first, I wanna clear the air on exactly what you don't need to get started, what you do need to get started, and one optional asset to that will help you skyrocket your business. So first, let me be clear. You don't need a single dollar in your bank account to start. Zero, zilch, nada. You don't need any previous sales or marketing experience. You don't need to learn any complicated software or platform or anything like that. Honestly, you don't even have to be smart. You can be pretty damn dumb and still crush it in this business. Look at me. Now here's what you do need. You'll need an email address, you'll need a phone number in order to contact these local businesses, and you'll need an average level of willpower in order to stick with something for more than a week. If you have mush brain and can't commit to one thing for more than 5 minutes, well, good luck in this business. And you should probably leave now because this video will be longer than that anyway. And before we dive into the actionable step-by-step roadmap for you to sell out a card within a month, there's one optional resource that would have a massive impact on your speed of success. I built a community on School that now has over 2,600 people who have succeeded with this 9x12 method. It includes a step-by-step roadmap, far more in-depth than this video, on exactly what I personally do each month to sell out cards, including all my scripts, templates, tools, etc. It's honestly like me holding your hand through the entire process. In fact, in the group, you also get unlimited messaging access to me. And you get to post and talk to others in the community who are finding success. Kind of like a Facebook group. It's not required to join the group, but it would absolutely help you avoid any of the mistakes that many people make and skip the headache of just figuring things out for yourself. Travis said joining the community was one of the best business decisions he's ever made. And Rosanna is making quick sales because of the course. So the link is in the description if you'd like to join us in that group and be like Rosanna and Travis and the many others who have been successful. So in 30 seconds, I'll break down the exact steps to sell out a card and make thousands in profit. But I have to make a harsh reality extremely clear to you about this business. And if you disagree with this reality, then you may as well exit the video after I tell you. So here's the reality. In the 9x12 postcard sales business, you will get absolutely no traction unless you take action. Dreaming fills your heart, but doing fills your wallet. Action equals results in this business, and everything else is just noise. So now that we filtered out the losers, this is the 8-step framework that took me from broke real estate agent to 3 cards and $15,000 per month within 3 months. So step 1, choose the right town. You want to choose a town that has plenty of local businesses. Ideally, a community that has a large density of businesses. So if you're choosing an entire city like Boston, for example, that's too large. So you'll have to narrow down your target area down to like a specific zip code or a neighborhood in Boston. And remember, this is a community mailer, so you need to target a community, not an entire city or state or country. And to be honest, it's not a total science, so don't overthink this part. I sold my first card out in my hometown of 10,000 people. So it can be done in smaller communities. It's just harder because it's a numbers game. Step 2, you've probably been wondering how we would get these 5,000 addresses to mail these cards to. And the answer is you don't need addresses at all. We use the Every Door direct mail service that the US Postal Service offers. And this allows us to simply choose mailing routes for the cards to go to, rather than needing an entire list of addresses. So if you go to eddm.usps.com, you can play around with the map in your target area and try to find a combination of routes that will add up to roughly 5,000 addresses. And I made a whole video on this if you can't figure out how to use the tool. Step 3, you're obviously gonna wanna reach out to local businesses eventually. So you need a way of getting their contact info, whether you're planning on emailing or calling, etc. And there's a couple ways of going about this. You can manually collect business contact info yourself, which can take some time, or you can hire somebody else to do it for you. And I actually offer this as a service, and you can find the link to that in the description if you prefer to save time from having to do it yourself. A quick word of warning though, don't buy email lists from companies online, as many of those lists are literally decades old, so tons of those emails will bounce. They probably don't exist anymore, and it'll just destroy your sender reputation, and your emails will start going to spam. So be careful with that. If you want to collect the info yourself, here's how I recommend doing it. You go to Google Maps, search for industry in town. So for example, roofer in Pittsburgh. Then zoom in on your target radius so that your search results only show businesses in that radius. You go to each of their websites one by one, search for their email address and phone number, and copy and paste that info into a spreadsheet. And in my community, I give a template for a good contact collection spreadsheet you could use, or you can use the custom 9x12 method CRM that I've developed with a partner. In the community, I also dive deeper into how to collect contacts as efficiently as possible. So step 4, don't freak out. Honestly, this is the simplest part. There are 3 ways to go about this. You can send emails, you can call the businesses, you can go door to door, or you can combine them all, which I actually recommend, but I don't actually do because I'm lazy and prefer just to email. So if you're emailing, exact scripts I use to consistently make $500 sales is in that community. And the premise is to keep things simple. You don't want to come across as a salesperson. You want to come across as a community connector. Whether you're sending emails, cold calling, or going door to door, all you really have to do is explain the card and break down the prices to them in a simple way. And at that point, the value will be obvious to the business owner, If you're going door to door, I highly recommend bringing sales flyers or even one of the 9x12 cards with you. That way you can leave something behind just in case the boss isn't there. And my group members have access to a leave behind flyer that they can print out and use. Gosh, I spoil them, don't I? Now, step 5, you guys have been reaching out to a bunch of local businesses with your pitch. You've probably garnered some interest, so it's time to close those sales. And there are honestly very few questions that business owners are going to ask you at this point, and you'll be able to answer basically any of those possibilities just with the info you're learning in this video and some info in the group. Didn't I tell you this business model was simple? You really only need a few things in order to close a sale. Once someone's interested, you should send them an invoice immediately for them to claim their spot. And remember, we need them to pay upfront so that we have the leverage and cash to get the cards printed. I made an in-depth video on how I use Stripe to collect payments. You can find it on my channel somewhere. Once they've paid, all you need to do is have them design their ad or have them give you the details so that you can design it for them. How you run your business is up to you, but I personally offer my clients complimentary ad design just to reduce friction as they're already busy business owners. So step 6 is designing and collecting ads. And some businesses will have preferred to design it themselves, and you should give them a deadline for when they should have that design in for you. I recommend using a tool called Canva to design your ads. It's more than enough functionality, and it isn't too complicated to pick up. It's not like Photoshop. I couldn't possibly go through all of my design advice in this video, but I did a live training in my community, and you can actually find the replay here on my YouTube channel to learn step-by-step how to use Canva, just the basics. And I actually want to give you a little gift. Just comment templates and I'll send you access to some pre-designed Canva ad templates just to give you a starting point for designs. It'll save you a lot of time. You also get access to a template for the full 9x12 postcard as well. And to offload some of your design work, you can get those ad templates and the full 9x12 postcard template for free again if you just comment templates down below. Step 6, printing and fulfillment. You really have two options for this, and let me preface this by saying my team here at the 9x12 method can handle either of these options for you with our printing and fulfillment services. Or you can hire another commercial printer you trust. Totally fine, totally up to you. Your first option, which is more hands-on, is to make the print order for 5,000 postcards and have them shipped directly to your house. At this point, you will then have to band the cards into sets of 100 to comply with the US Postal Service rules. And then you'll put the order in with US Postal Service at eddm.usps.com. And remember, this is the tool we use to target your mailing routes. You'll then pay the postage to the US Postal Service. You'll then have to set the bundles up with facing slips and then bring them down to the proper post office and then distribute the cards. And then option number 2, which is more hands-off, which I honestly recommend. That way you can save time for making more $500 sales. You can hire my team to not only print, but to also ship and fulfill your order all the way through. So once you make your order with us at 9x12method.com/print, all you'll need to do is send us the final design file for your 9x12 and the EDDM routes that you chose, and we'll personally print the cards, we'll bundle the cards, we'll ship them directly to the proper post office with the slips, and we'll handle the postage order with USPS. That way, the US Postal Service will distribute them from there. And this means we take on all of the fulfillment so you can focus purely on selling. And again, we'll do either of those two options for you, and you can see those details at 9x12method.com/print. So step 8, you gotta scale your success. Congratulations, you've sold your first card, you've made $4,000 to $5,000 in profit with a couple hours a day of action. So I'm assuming you're a hungry person like me, and you're probably not satisfied at this point. So now it's time for step 8, which is scaling to multiple cards. And honestly, scaling to 2 cards per month is pretty doable, pretty simple. You basically do the exact same thing in a different location, thereby doubling your work. Now you're probably working 4 hours a day instead of 2, but you're making 8 to 10 grand a month because of it. Now this video isn't really meant to help you scale beyond 2 cards because at that point, you'll need some more serious systems, some tech, and maybe some delegates at that point. And so once you get to that point, I have a dedicated scaling course that'll provide you with actionable steps and systems to scale to 3 to 4 cards per month. But for now, focus on that first card and keeping things simple. The number one mistake that 9x12ers make is adding complexity. And nobody wants to add complexity to their business, right? But the reality is us humans have a natural tendency to think that complexity equals bigger results. In the 9x12 business specifically, that is so far from the truth. So stick to the blueprint that I laid out. Promise you'll have the highest level of success with just the simplest action. I truly want to see you succeed, truly. And the 9x12 method literally changed my life, and it's been incredibly fulfilling seeing it change so many other lives in our community. So if you're ready for some extra support and want to fast track your success, I'd love to see you in our community where thousands of people are learning from the course, sharing their wins and strategies, and making friendships. And if you're not ready to join yet, that's totally understandable. Like I said, it's not required. Just watch this video here to see the exact email process I use to turn prospects into clients. And as always, I'm rooting so hard for your success. Let me know if you need anything at all. I'll see you guys on the next one.